Hello. The purpose of this video is to be a quick review of a few topics that you should already have some understanding about concerning matter. Throughout this video, you will see 5 questions about the material that we discuss, and you'll need to answer these questions on the first page of your packet in complete sentences. Please also write out the question. Okay, so the first topic of discussion is the difference between potential and kinetic energy. Potential energy is energy stored up in an object or system because of its position or configuration. An example of an object with potential energy would be a ball before it's dropped, and it has potential energy because there is a possibility that the ball will drop. Kinetic energy describes the energy of a body or system with respect to the motion of the body or of the particles in the system. Pretty much anytime something's in motion, it has kinetic energy. An example of kinetic energy would be the ball falling through the air. The next topic we need to review is the difference between mass and weight. Mass is not, capital N, capital O, capital T, the same thing as weight. When we talk about mass, we're referring to the amount of matter an object contains. But when we talk about weight, we're talking about the measurement of the pull of gravity on an object. The important thing to remember here is that an object's mass is consistent no matter what its location is. It doesn't matter where you are in the universe, your mass will always be the same. On the other hand, when you're talking about weight, it's different in different locations. Like if you were to weigh yourself on Earth, your weight would be different than your weight on the moon. It'd even be different on top of a mountain because the pull of gravity on your body would be different. Now let's talk a little bit about the different states of matter. Solids are classified as matter that has definite shape and definite volume, which means the shape and volume do not change. Also, they have very low kinetic energy, which means their particles don't move around, they just simply vibrate in place. Liquids, like solids, have a fixed definite volume, however they have a variable shape, which means that they take the shape of the container that they're in. They have a low kinetic energy, which means the particles can move around, but they're still very close together. They can flow, but they're not flying all over the place. Gases are classified as matter that has indefinite shape and indefinite volume, which means they also take the shape of their container, but the particles can separate and move throughout the container because they have a high kinetic energy. Plasmas are gas-like because they have variable shape and volume, and they have a very high kinetic energy. The particles collide with enough energy to break into charged particles. And some examples of plasmas are stars, fluorescent light bulbs, and lightning. Now we'll talk about a couple laws of conservation, the first one being the law of conservation of energy, which states that energy cannot be created nor destroyed. Energy can take different forms, but in an isolated system, the total amount of energy cannot change. It's said to be conserved over time. The law of conservation of mass states that mass cannot be created nor destroyed, so this means that in a chemical reaction, the total mass of the reactants is always equal to the total mass of the products. The last thing we'll talk about in this video is the difference between endothermic and exothermic reactions. An exothermic reaction is a reaction that releases energy into the surroundings. An endothermic reaction is a reaction that absorbs energy or takes it in.